Once you master Bitcoin, you can figure out how to save your wealth, how to economically prosper. It works for a country, a company, a family, an individual. Nobody owns it. It's a utilitarian, egalitarian entitlement, just a good for the world. That's why I'm so enthusiastic about it. So we're offering investors whatever degree of risk and performance they want, and there's hundreds of trillions of dollars in the capital market that absolutely has to buy a security, and they cannot buy the commodities.
Right. Well, that was Executive Chairman of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, on the promising potential of Bitcoin. Joining us now to weigh in, Coin Stories podcast host, Natalie Brunell. Natalie, MicroStrategy made its debut on the NASDAQ 100. We know that. Saylor certainly is putting a lot of chips down on the future of Bitcoin. I mean, how does this pay off for him, do you think?
Well, hi, Ashley. Happy holidays. Thank you for having me. I mean, MicroStrategy pioneered the Bitcoin treasury strategy. It is using intelligent leverage, and its inclusion in the NASDAQ 100 is extremely legitimizing for both the asset and the company. And now everyone who invests in ETFs that track the NASDAQ will be getting some Bitcoin exposure, and it will mean a lot of passive flows for MicroStrategy that will boost the stock, which has already outperformed almost every company in the stock market. And as for Michael Saylor, I mean, he has become a pivotal voice in really shaping the Bitcoin conversation here in the US, especially among major corporations. And he's advocating for a regulatory framework that not only encourages innovation, but also makes clear distinctions for our country between digital currencies, digital commodities, and digital securities, and emphasizing the importance of outlining the responsibilities of issuers and companies so that we have a transparent, compliant, and very long-term stable industry.
You know, Natalie, earlier this year, as you referenced, Bitcoin spot ETFs hit the market, but last week they saw a record $671.9 million in outflows. And now, as we know, Bitcoin is well below its high of 106,000 that it hit earlier this month. So my question after all of that is, are we in a buying opportunity right now?
Absolutely. It's always a good time to buy Bitcoin, especially when it pulls back. We really saw the entire market take a breather after the Fed sounded a little more hawkish last week. And I think that's why we've seen some of the outflows. But that doesn't change the fact that the Bitcoin ETFs have had the most successful launch of all time. I mean, take BlackRock's ETF, for example. Its assets under management are already $20 billion higher than its gold ETF after just 12 months of trading. So digital gold is proving far superior to traditional gold, and you can focus on just 1 week, but I would zoom out and focus on this historic run that Bitcoin and the ETFs have had, and yes, it's a good time to get in.
Okay, look, President-elect Trump stacking his administration, it appears, with crypto-friendly players. What do you expect to see from this next administration when it comes to Bitcoin?
Well, I think that Trump is surrounding himself with really the best and brightest of the global tech industry. And unlike in 2016, these massive tech executives and leaders, they're not resisting him. They're actually stepping up to collaborate. And everyone is truly focused on positioning the United States as the tech leader. And that includes Bitcoin. We've never seen something like this. And Bitcoin is exponential money for the exponential age. So we are now going to be positioned to lead and set the standard globally for our embrace of digital capital.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. Finally, Natalie, your Bitcoin prediction for 2025, what is it?
Well, if you're talking about price, I mean, I think $200,000 is very, very reasonable. Ooh. The first 100,000 is the hardest, Ashley. I think we're going to be on our way over the coming decades to 7 figures. I expect a lot of tailwinds in general for the industry. I think we could see a U.S. strategic Bitcoin stockpile established in the first few months of Trump taking office. We will get that regulatory framework and clarity that the industry has been waiting for. And I think we will see the growth of a digital monetary ecosystem with Bitcoin really at the core, serving as digital capital and the true source of economic energy for the free world.
What a good place to leave it right there. Natalie, thank